Hi, welcome everyone. Today's presentation is Hidden Profits, how to use follow-up marketing to uncover increased profits at your business. So if that's the presentation you were expecting, you're in the right place. And we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. We've got a lot of people joining us as we speak, so we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get settled in here, and then we'll get going. Now's a great time if you want to finish any last minute conversation, send that last email, run and get a drink of water, whatever it is. It's a great time to do it, and then we'll get going in just a few. Thank you. Okay, hello again. We got a lot of new people that have joined us since my last announcement. Today's presentation is Hidden Profits, how to use follow-up marketing to uncover increased profits at your business. And we're going to get started here in just another minute or two. Okay? So if you need to send off any last-minute emails or run to the restroom, get a drink of water, it's a great time to do it. And we'll get started here in just another minute. Thanks. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get rolling. Thank you very much for joining me here today. And today's presentation is Hidden Profits, how to use follow-up marketing to uncover increased profits at your business. I think this is one of the most important topics that we can pay attention to as business owners and marketers of our business. So I'm excited to share today's information with you, and I appreciate you again taking the time to join me here today. A couple of logistics before we get rolling. One, I will be recording this presentation, and I'll send you a copy of the recording afterwards. So if for any reason you have to miss out on part of this, I understand. I won't take it personally. And also, no need to think that you have to take notes on every single thing that you see, because you will have the recording you can go back through. The other thing is, I won't be stopping for questions during the presentation, just because I have a lot of information to cover today, and I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. But please do type in your questions into the question box below this presentation, and I will answer as many of them as I can at the end. And anything that I don't answer, I'll be sure that either myself or somebody from my team follows up with you in the next 24 to 48 hours to answer you personally. Okay? Finally, if you hover your mouse over the presentation, you'll see like a little icon that will show up on the bottom right-hand corner of the presentation itself. If you click on that, it will expand the presentation into full screen mode. So if that's easier for you to view it that way, then go ahead and do that, and you can just hit escape at any time to go back into the normal view. Okay? So again, thank you very much, everybody. Let's go ahead and get going with Hidden Profits. In today's presentation, I'm going to share with you three key things. One, how to find the hidden profits in your business. Every business has these hidden profits. Two, 4 keys to success in getting those profits back. Okay, because we're missing out on some of those profits every single day. So let's talk about how we get those back. And then 3, strategies, tools, and specific techniques to use. All right, as I said, every business has untapped profit centers that are literally hidden in plain sight. How do I know this? Well, this is what I do for a living. I help generally smaller businesses use marketing strategies and technology, typically, a combination of those two things, to get better growth and better profits at their business. So I've worked with literally hundreds of different companies, and I see these hidden profits at every single business that I work in. Now, why is that? Well, it's my experience that most businesses are not maximizing the opportunity to resell, cross-sell, and upsell customers that they already have, their current customer base. Most businesses focus almost exclusively on trying to get new customers, right? We're always on the lookout when we think about how do we grow our business, how do we add profits to our business. We're always on the lookout for how do we get new customers. It's the first thing that comes to our mind. Well, what's wrong with this approach? There's 3 things. One is that getting new customers is harder than getting existing customers to buy again. Okay? It's simply more work to introduce yourself to somebody brand new, somebody that's never heard from you or heard of you, somebody that's never experienced your products or services before. Of course, it's just logically more work to get them to do a transaction with you versus those existing customers that have already had some sort of positive experience with you, getting them to buy again. Number 2, it's usually more expensive, right? Again, because we are reaching out to people that have never heard from us before, have never been customers before, it does cost more money. We have to put out more marketing effort to reach them. And then number 3, it's slower, right? So these 3 reasons combined make going out and getting new customers much, much more expensive and challenging than working with our existing customers. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't go out and get new customers. Of course you should. But if you're not putting just as much attention on working more with your existing customers, you're missing a massive profit opportunity. Here's some interesting data from Frederick Reichheld at Bain & Company from a study that he did on customer retention versus customer acquisition. And you can see here some very interesting statistics. Number 1 there on the left. 6 to 7, that's the number of times more costly it is to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. 6 to 7 times more expensive. That's a lot of additional money that you're spending in marketing to work with that new customer. 50%, that's the amount customer attrition rates could reach if left dormant over a 5-year period. So if you have customers that are coming back and doing some sort of repeat purchasing from you over time, and you don't nurture those relationships, okay, then that's the amount of attrition that you'll reach if left dormant, if those relationships are left dormant, okay? And then 5 to 95%, that's the amount of increased profits that can come from boosting customer retention rates by as little as 5%. Now you say 5 to 95%, that's a huge range. Well, it is a huge range because it largely depends on the kind of business you have and how good of a job you're currently doing with your profitability of your business, right? Some businesses that I work with have, virtually no profits to begin with, and you just make some slight changes and all of a sudden you can really ramp up their profitability. Others, of course, are much more profitable, and the difference that you're going to make by really focusing on additional marketing to current customers may not be as dramatic, but still, it's there to be taken and shouldn't be missed out. So you add all of this up and you realize there's a better way to increase the profitability and increase the growth at your business. And that's to start with maximizing the revenues and profits you are getting from your existing customers. Okay, so the question, of course, is how? And I'm going to share with you 3 critical but simple steps. Step number 1 is to focus on building your list of paying customers and clients. All right? And what I mean by your list is the information that you have about the people that are buying from you. Okay? So how do we do this? Well, I'm sure we've all seen at just about any retail business like a restaurant, you've seen this concept of the fishbowl, right? And using a fishbowl to collect the information about the customers that are coming in and doing business with you. And honestly, that's a perfectly fine way of doing it. So you can use the fishbowl technique, or you can use some of the more modern approaches that technology and the internet have enabled, such as social media, collecting information on your website, or using SMS, text messaging lists. This is probably something that you've also seen at retail types of businesses where, a restaurant may say, hey, text 32516 and we'll send you our happy hour updates, right? Or our specials that are going on every week. So these are, those are a little more modern, a little more current ways of growing your list, but honestly, any way will do as long as you're capturing information about your customer base. And you should capture everything you can when building your list. Get their name, their email address, their phone number, their physical address, birthdays, anniversaries. All of this information can be used in your marketing. It can be used as marketing firepower. So the more information that you collect, the better. Now, once you've built that list, step number 2 is to communicate to that list frequently and include revenue enhancing offers. Now, this is the mistake that I see so many businesses make is, I don't know how many times I've been to a restaurant where they have that fishbowl, and I'll drop my business card in, and then I'll never hear anything from the restaurant. So they're taking step 1, but they're not doing step 2, which is to actually use that information to communicate with your buyers and introduce them to more revenue enhancing offers. Now, you have all kinds of reasons to reach out to your customer base. Birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, coupons. Coupons are always in season, right? And appointment reminders. If you're the kind of business that relies on appointments, spas and salons, medical practices, dentists, things like that, even restaurants with reservations, right? And there's many more types of businesses that rely on appointments. These are all great reasons to reach out to the people that you have on your list. And honestly, you should always be on the lookout for some type of marketing event. And there is a new marketing event every single week, I promise you, that you can leverage to be in touch with your customers. And then you want to communicate using a variety of media, right? Email, SMS, direct mail, social media, even carrier pigeon if you have to, okay? I say this because different forms of media work on different people, right? Some people don't really check their email that much, but if you send them a piece of direct mail in their mailbox, then they're excited to get it and open it. Some people are on social media all day long, others aren't. So you should use a variety of media, and you should use them in combination to have the greatest impact and get the greatest response from your list. And then include offers. This is the other big mistake that I see people make. They do a good job of reaching out to their customer base, but then they don't give them any particular reason to actually buy again. You want to include some sort of offer and have some sort of call to action to get people, up off their couch and back into your business. All right, step number 3, you want to create resale, upsell, and cross-sell opportunities for all of your products. Okay, so let's talk about resale. Resale is getting customers to buy more of what they are currently buying, right? You want to resell them over and over again. So a great example is Starbucks and the Starbucks card. Starbucks has done a fantastic job of literally creating, this new addiction for people over the last 15, 20 years or so, where, people just can't get enough of their Starbucks. And the Starbucks card is a great way of continuously reselling people and reminding them that they should come back in and spend their money at Starbucks, right? It's just this tiny little device that makes a big difference, that makes it easy for people to buy, gives them discounts, allows them to store money and gift money to other people. So it's a really, really, really impressive but simple resale tool. But every business has the opportunity to create a vehicle to get more purchasing, more resale opportunities with their current customers. Next is upsell. Okay, upselling is when somebody buys, you present them with a premium version of what they bought at a higher price. Right? We've all experienced this one way or another. One of the most famous examples is the supersize meals at McDonald's. Right? McDonald's literally added about 20% to their bottom line years ago when they first rolled this out. And it was brilliant. It was effective, and it's also just very, very simple and something that every business can take advantage of, right? I go in to order my meal at McDonald's, and they ask what I like to supersize it. Just that one simple line added 20% to their bottom line. Well, again, just like in resale, every business has an opportunity to upsell their existing customers to a more premium version of their products, and you've just got to get creative and think about how you can do that. Okay, next is to cross-sell, which means to introduce your customers to complementary products and services based on their previous purchase history. I'm sure many of you will recognize this. This is the recommendation engine inside of Amazon. So if I'm searching on Amazon and I'm searching for a book, Amazon also says customers who bought this item also bought and suggests other items to me that they think I might like based on my purchase history. Well, again, any business can say, well, if you bought this and you like this, you're going to love this, right? There's always additional things that we can introduce them to, complementary products or services that we can introduce our customers to. So by focusing on those three things, resell, upsell, and cross-sell, it's my experience that businesses can add 25% to their revenue and to their bottom line, sometimes much more than 25% to their bottom line, just by getting creative and focusing on those simple opportunities. All right, let's talk about 4 keys to success in this follow-up marketing, right? And using your current customer list to grow your revenue in the next year. 4 keys to success. Number 1, make it a consistent process. Okay, you want to examine the way that you sell and market to your clients and customers, and you want to look for a process, a consistent process that you can use every single time to take advantage of these follow-up marketing opportunities. Okay, you don't want this to just be some one-off thing that happens every once in a while. You want to make it a system. You want to make it a part of the way you do business every day. Number 2, key to this is to train your team. Okay, McDonald's upsell to a supersize only works if, when the customer is buying, the person running the cash register remembers to ask, well, would you like to supersize your meal today? Right? If they don't ask that simple question, then the sale does not happen. So you've got to make sure to invest in training in your team. Teach them the importance of what it is that you're doing, and get them committed to learning how they can add these additional revenues and profits when dealing with your customers. Number 3, give your team incentives. Okay? Not all of your employees have the motivation that you do to grow your business and to add profitability to the bottom line. So give them incentives. Right? Create some fun games around this. Create bonus opportunities. Add extra vacation days when people do real well. There's all kinds of things that you can do to create these incentives for your team. And then number 4, make it easy using marketing technology. And I think that this topic is so critical that I'm going to spend some time on this because, again, in my experience, small businesses in particular are very, very busy. They're resource constrained. And it's not that they don't want to do more marketing. It's not that they don't want to do a better job of reselling, upselling, and cross-selling. It's just that they're busy. They're swamped. And that's why I leverage marketing strategy and technology with my clients, because the technology allows us to put automation in place to make things simple so that a lot of this stuff can happen on autopilot once it's set up correctly. So specifically, I'd like you to focus on 4 areas: email, SMS, direct mail, and social media. All right, let's start with email marketing. Now, why use email? Well, people are very receptive to email if it's relevant and generous. They love discounts and special offers. So I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, email marketing doesn't work anymore. There's all these spam filters and there's so much junk getting into my email box." And that's all true. However, email marketing really does still work. In fact, it delivers the highest ROI of all digital marketing channels, greater than $40 in return for every $1 spent. So email marketing, believe me, still works very, very well. Now, other reasons for you to use it at your business: it's fast, it's easy, it's cheap, and again, most importantly, it can be automated. Okay, and I've shared with you a few of my favorite email marketing tools here on the right: Aweber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft. These are all great, relatively inexpensive tools. MailChimp even has a free version that you can experiment with. These are all great tools for marketing via email and just making it a very, very simple and inexpensive process. So let me give you a handful of email tips here. One, just about every business has an opportunity to send some sort of monthly e-newsletter to their customers. You can provide useful information, you can demonstrate your expertise, you can demonstrate your products or services, you can talk about new specials that you have, you can talk about customer stories, things like that. Anything that you can come up with to add value to the relationship and encourage loyalty will be beneficial to your business. And here's an example of an email newsletter from a company called SitePoint, and it's pretty funny. I just found this example, and it says, the topic of it there is, do you ignore your current clients, pushing them aside in search for new business? So it's very relevant to this presentation. You can see they give away a free guide here over on the right-hand side for anybody reading the newsletter. So any business can come up with content for a newsletter, and it really is very, very effective in building that loyalty and relationship with your customers. Next tip is to mail at least once per week. And some people think, man, that's a lot. I'm going to really bother people. Statistics have shown that mailing once per week is actually the minimum that you should do. And why do I say that? Well, if you mail less frequently than that, what happens is that people tend to forget about you. And unfortunately, the number one reason that you hear that a customer will stop doing business with a particular company, with a particular business, is that they simply forgot about them. Some other business got their attention. We're constantly competing for the attention of our customers, and if you're not staying front and center, somebody else is. So you want to mail at least once per week. And I've got to tell you, a lot of businesses can mail every single day and be very successful with that. So I know that may seem like that's way too much for your business, and that's okay, but I encourage you to mail at least once per week. All right, let's move on to SMS or text messaging. So why use SMS? This is an incredibly powerful form of marketing. And here's some reasons why. 87% of Americans have mobile phones, and 73% say it's their number one most used technology device. In fact, look at this. There is actually a term for the fear of being out of mobile phone contact called nomophobia. Which doesn't surprise me. I think I experienced this myself. I love my mobile phone, and many people do, and they are afraid to have that phone out of reach and be out of contact, right? They want to have the phone in their pocket or in their hands at all times. These things have really become a part of our life. In fact, the average user spends 2 hours a day on their mobile phone, and almost 66% of smartphone users admit to sleeping with their phones. I thought that was pretty funny. There are 6.1 trillion text messages sent and received, and that was in 2010. They're saying by 2016 they expect that number to jump to 9.4 trillion messages. What an amazing number. SMS text messaging has a 98% open rate, and 95% of messages are read within 4 minutes. There is no other form of marketing that gets this high of attention from the recipient. There is no other form of marketing that even comes close. Text messages arrive in the hands of your customers immediately and get opened on average on 95% of the times within 4 minutes. It's incredibly powerful marketing that you should all be taking advantage of. So let me give you some tips here. 1, permission is mandatory. You cannot spam somebody's cell phone. It's really considered such a personal device that if you try to spam somebody's cell phone, you will get immediate and strong backlash, and you can actually be fined some pretty hefty fines by the government. So that's something to just not mess around with at all. Strong offers are essential. Okay? People don't want you to text their phone just to keep in touch. Right? If you're going to send a message to somebody's phone, it had better be important and it had better be valuable to them. So let me give you some specific examples. 1, appointment reminders. I spoke about this before earlier in the presentation. Appointment reminders are incredibly effective when sent to mobile phones. And mobile marketing statistics from 2012 show that appointment reminders can reduce no-shows by up to 50%. So any of you, again, who have appointment-based businesses, you know that if someone doesn't show up for their appointment, it's just lost revenue, right? It's money you can't get back. So anything that you can do to reduce those appointment no-shows can have a dramatic impact on your bottom line. So if you have an appointment-based business, it is absolutely critical that you're using SMS marketing to send those reminders. All right, next is mobile coupons. Mobile coupons are 10 times more likely to be redeemed than traditional coupons. So if you have a business where you are using coupons effectively in any way at all, man, if you put them on a mobile phone, they will be dramatically more effective. And it's super, super simple to send a coupon to mobile phones. So those are 2 great ways to take advantage of SMS or text message marketing. All right, let's move on to direct mail. Now, I'm talking good old physical, mail, envelopes, postcards, packages, things like that delivered to a real mailbox, which seems maybe kind of nostalgic and old-fashioned in today's day and age, but very effective and should be part of your routine. So why use direct mail? Well, it may be interesting to you to know that direct mail expenditures have actually grown over $50 billion, a 4.6% increase from last year. So direct mail, while it may seem, like I said, a little old-fashioned compared to some of the more current marketing techniques, it's still growing, and the reason why is it's still very effective. Here's Dave Scott, CEO of MarketFish. He says, even though direct mail seems old school, it's really sexy for the marketer. The reason being that there's less clutter, so you get more effective impressions. And you think about that. I mean, in my email inbox, I probably get a few hundred messages a day now, every single day. Whereas in my mailbox at home, I might get 5, maybe on a big day, get 10 pieces of mail in my mailbox. And I actually look forward to it, to going to my mailbox and seeing what I got. It's a totally different experience. 50% of consumers prefer direct mail to email, and 60% said they enjoy checking their physical mailboxes. So I'm not alone here. And I imagine a lot of you are like this, right? It's kind of fun to go to your mailbox and see what you got. We have an emotional connection to postal mail. And I don't know exactly why that is, if it's, because around the holidays we're all waiting to see what comes, or, whatever it is exactly, but it's definitely the case. So let me give you some direct mail tips. Again, this is one of those forms of marketing that everybody should be using. The first is to make sure that you make your direct mail stand out. Okay? The last thing that you want to do is invest in a direct mail campaign that's just kind of boring and is just going to get lost in the shuffle. You want to make it so that when somebody goes to their mailbox, your piece immediately stands out and will get attention. FedEx envelopes are a great way to do this. Now, FedEx envelopes are expensive, yes, but they are incredibly effective. Why is that? Well, there's a saying in direct mail that nobody ignores a FedEx envelope, right? People will ignore postcards. They'll ignore even letters that they can tell come from somebody trying to sell them something. Nobody gets a FedEx envelope and then just tosses it in the trash without opening it, right? FedEx communicates something important. So depending on the kind of business you're in, and of course it's not appropriate for all businesses, but depending on the kind of business you're in, sending somebody a FedEx envelope can be a guaranteed way to get attention. In fact, this may be the only thing that competes with doing the text messaging that I told you about earlier. Next tip is to personalize it, okay? And what I mean by that, doing things like putting a real stamp on the envelope instead of just the indicia from the postal service, right? It looks more personal. It looks like somebody is actually taking the time to personally send you some mail if there's a real stamp on it. The other thing is handwritten envelopes. Again, it just seems much more personal. It doesn't seem like a corporation is trying to reach me. It seems like somebody's taken the time to personally handwrite something to me. So these little touches make a huge difference in the open rate of direct mail that you send out. Next is to use lumpy mail. What is lumpy mail? Well, lumpy mail, literally we call it lumpy mail because it's something it's a lumpy package. It's a package that is going to stand out in the mailbox because there's something inside of it. Now it could be a box like this, or it could just be that you stick something inside of the envelope that you're mailing so that there's something in there. It's very intriguing. You almost can't pass up opening an envelope that has something stuffed inside of it besides a letter because you're just wondering what the heck is it, right? And this is a great campaign. I love this. This is from Comcast, actually. And Comcast was looking for a way to boast about the fact that they now have a bigger network, right? A bigger footprint. They reach more geographic areas. And so they sent this big shoe stuffed inside of a box that says, "We've taken some giant steps forward." Very clever campaign. Again, there's no limit to the creative things that you can come up with for any business to create lumpy mail campaigns like this. And believe me, when Comcast sends somebody a box with a shoe in it in the mail, you can be sure that that box gets opened and that campaign gets noticed. So think of creative ways to use lumpy mail to reach back out to your customers to encourage them to come back in. Now, here's some additional recommendations for any mail that you can, or any direct mail campaign that you send. One, again, always make an offer on it, right? You always want to have some reason for somebody to take action, and include that clear call to action. Don't just leave that up to them. You want to direct them. You want to say, pick up the phone right now and call us to claim this offer, or come to our restaurant today, right? You want to make it very clear, and you want to direct them as to what you want them to do. And then finally, again, depending on the type of business that you're in, it may or may not make economic sense to do so, but the businesses where you have higher value customers and transactions, follow up with a phone call. Okay, sending a direct mail piece is effective, but sending a direct mail piece that's followed up with a phone call is much more effective. Again, you're using a different form of media to reach out to them and to enhance the chance that they're actually going to pay attention to your message. All right, next is to rinse and repeat. Don't just send one card and call it a year, right? This is what a lot of businesses do around the holidays. We send one holiday card to all of our customers and clients thanking them. Well, that's not enough. Everybody does that. You want to send direct mail on a regular basis. You want to get into a habit of regularly looking for the opportunity to get something out the door. And finally, automate it. I bet you a lot of people don't know that you can actually automate your direct mail campaigns. There's a number of ways to do this, but one of my favorites is just a very, very simple company called Send Out Cards. Send Out Cards allows you to build direct mail campaigns in a sequence and have them sent out automatically for you. So what I mean is that, let's say that you get a new customer, you get new customers this month, right? And say you get 100 new customers this month at your business. If you collect all of their names and addresses, you can put those into send out cards into a new customer campaign that you've created. And they will automatically send out the cards or send out the direct mail to those new customers based on how you've programmed it to do so. So mail piece number one could go out, immediately after they come in as a new customer, and it could say, "Hey, thank you so much for being a new customer. We really appreciate it. We look forward to working with you again." And then a week later, you could send out another card automatically that has coupons saying, "Hey, we wanted to thank you again, and here's a 50% off gift certificate for your next visit to our business or your next purchase at our business." The third one could go out a week later then and say, "Hey, here's another 25% off coupon if you bring in a friend," right? So you can actually put these things on autopilot. It doesn't have to be so difficult as you may imagine that you have to sit down and create these campaigns and literally lick stamps and mail things out yourself. All right? So that's direct mail, very, very powerful form of marketing still that's often overlooked. All right, next, let's talk about social media. All right, why use social media? Well, we all know social media has been on just an incredible growth tear over the last handful of years, right? Up by 712% since 2005. And that's not just among the kiddos, right? 66% of adult internet users now use social media. And 72% of U.S. consumers research companies through social channels before making purchases. And I think this is really, really important for everybody to understand that people are looking for your business in the social channels, and they are also looking for the feedback of other customers in those social channels. So it really makes a lot of sense for you to participate in marketing to your customers in these social channels and make sure that they're saying the best things possible about your business out there, right? 59% of U.S. consumers use social sites to vent about customer care frustrations. 46% say they like it because they can be brutally honest, and 38% aim to influence others when they express their preferences online. So people are out there trying to get other people to believe what they have to say about your products or services and business, right? So don't just leave this up to chance. You want to engage with your customers to get them out there saying good things about your business and encourage them to share and spread the good word with other customers. All right, so let me give you some social media tips here. One, engage and interact. Right? Social media is about having conversations, not monologues. So you want to engage people. That's why it's social networks, right? And have conversations with them in these networks. Have a business page. 85% of consumers expect businesses to interact with them via social channels. Okay, that's according to Cone Business and social media study. Again, here's an example from Facebook. Facebook does a fantastic job with their social media site. You should all go check it out for some inspiration of some things that you can do. But people expect your business to be there. Add value. Use social channels to share tips, discounts, and gain trust. Okay? You want to make sure that you're adding value as much as you possibly can. One great way to do this, make educational videos and post them up to YouTube and other social sites. And in case you didn't know, yes, YouTube is a social media channel for sure. The sharing that goes on in YouTube is unbelievable. So, make educational videos and post them up to YouTube. Videos are 50 times more likely to be ranked higher than a text-based document, right? So if you're writing an article versus posting a video, video is 50 times more likely to outrank the article. People love video, so it's a great way to communicate with your customers, give them tips, give them advice, and encourage them to come back in. And finally, advertise. Facebook's ad platform offers really cool, cost-effective ways to reach your audience and tap into the power of social proof. And not just Facebook, okay? All the social engines have some way of doing this. However, I think that Facebook is maybe the most powerful and, of course, the largest out there. So let me just show you an example of how powerful this can be. Again, Starbucks, my favorite brand today for this presentation. But you can see here that Jessica Gronsky went into Starbucks for the second time today. And Starbucks was able to do what is called a sponsored story, which essentially they took Jessica's visit to Starbucks and turned it into an ad that now gets shared around to all of her connections on Facebook, which is super, super powerful, right? Because these are people that have a connection to Jessica, and now they're seeing that Jessica is a big Starbucks fan, right? So very, very powerful form of advertising that you can use to reach out to your existing customers and drive them back into your business, as well as get additional new customer exposure on the cheap. All right, let's go ahead and recap. I've thrown a lot at you here, but I hope you got some really good stuff out of this. So one, mine your backyard, right? Maximize the value of your existing customer base. Instead of looking for, far off lands where there's greater customer opportunity, look right in your backyard. Look at the clients and customers that you already have and think about creative ways to maximize your relationship and your revenue with them. Two, build your list, right? Build that list. You should constantly be building your list. Collect as much information as you possibly can so that you can keep in touch with them. Three, design resell, upsell, and cross-sell offers into your sales process. Okay? Look for those 3 ways, resell, upsell, and cross-sell, that you can take any customer and increase the revenue that you're getting from them. And number 4, reach out to your list regularly with offers, insights, and expertise. And regularly, as I said, I think at least once a week. 5, and use multiple channels to do so, right? Use multiple channels. As we said, one media will work more for one person than the other, but also a combination of media is proven to be more effective in getting people to take action and remember your message. And 5A here, use high ROI channels. Email, direct mail, social media, and SMS. Most of these, 3 out of 4, are very, very, very inexpensive to do, right? Email, social media, and SMS really are almost no cost to you. It just takes some effort and some creativity. Direct mail, of course, there is money to be spent, right, to get the mail out the door, but it's so effective that it shouldn't be ignored. These are all very high ROI channels. All right. As I said, I threw a lot at you. You may be confused, overwhelmed. Hopefully you're excited, right? Hopefully this presentation has maybe generated some ideas as to some things that you could be doing differently at your business to maximize those current customers and those relationships that you have. And if so, if you're looking for some help with this, if you're looking for some ideas or somebody to help create these campaigns or run these campaigns for you, we can absolutely help. That's what we do for a living. We work with businesses, as I said, to combine good marketing and effective use of technology to maximize growth and profits. So if this is a topic that you're interested in discussing, we would love to help. You can see our contact information right all around this presentation here. And all you have to do is get in touch, and no pressure. We just love to have a conversation and see if it makes sense for us to potentially work together. All right? Let me go ahead and now answer some questions. I see that a number of questions have come in here. For timing purposes, I won't be able to get to all of them here, but I will get to a handful of them. So somebody asks here, is there a preference for email tools? Is there an email tool that I think is best? That's from Michelle. No, Michelle, I guess let me put email tools into a couple of different buckets. So I showed you earlier Aweber and MailChimp. Aweber and MailChimp, I would say that those are on the more simple side of email marketing, and yet they're amazingly effective, and they have a lot of power, and you can do autoresponder campaigns with them, which means you can create these sequences of automatic emails to go out. I think that both of those tools are really, really good at that. Of those, I think MailChimp has a lot of capability that Aweber doesn't have. That I would probably give it my my thumbs up. GetResponse is another tool that I would put in that category that I think is very good. So that's more of the kind of simple email tools. And then there's email tools that are really, really powerful and robust that you will have to spend some more money to get access to. Infusionsoft is one that I recommended earlier on that same slide. Infusionsoft is really much, much more than an email tool. It's really a whole business automation tool, and you can just do, you can do all kinds of things with it. But it gives you some sophistication in what you can do with your email marketing that you're not going to get from the AWebers and things like that. So, any of those tools are really, really good. If you're just getting started with email marketing, I would suggest you jump into AWeber or MailChimp or GetResponse. And if you then find that you're trying to do more, then start looking at like an Infusionsoft to take it to another level. Okay. Let's see here. Mark says that they've used direct mail campaigns in the past and have not seen any ROI. It's hard to continue to run direct mail campaigns when you're losing money every time. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I don't blame you. I don't suggest that you should do anything where you're losing money every time, for sure. So, there are lots of ways that a direct mail campaign can be more effective. So, I would suggest a couple of things. So one, I don't know who you were mailing to, but the point of this presentation was to mail to your existing customers, right? And by mailing to your existing customers instead of just new people, you are going to get a dramatically higher response rate. Because these are people who are already familiar with you and your brand and your products and services, so they're just much more likely to respond to you and engage in that direct mail campaign. So I would suggest that everybody starts with just direct mailing your own list of customers first, because you will have much higher response and it just makes it easier to get a positive ROI. Next, I would look at the offer and the creative that you used in your direct mail campaign, right? Did you make a good, strong offer? Did it have a good, strong discount or incentive, for people to get back in touch with you? And what was your creative piece? Did you send something that truly is going to stand out in the mail? Or did you send something that's kind of boring and looks like everything else and is just as likely to be ripped up as it is to be opened? So I can assure you that direct mail can be made into a positive ROI vehicle, I think, for every business. It's incredibly powerful, and direct mail can seem expensive until it's working. And then, there's a saying that marketing is free, right? If you're doing your marketing right, then you're generating revenue from it, and it's free. So it doesn't matter how much you spend as long as you're able to get that back in revenue. And like I said, I'm positive that in just about any business out there, every business out there can use direct mail effectively. Let's see here. Paul says he is from a dental firm and a dentist practice, and is not sure that something like social media would be effective for them. People don't want to interact with their dentist on Facebook. I would challenge that, Paul. There's a lot of businesses. In fact, every business out there, every business category out there, you can find a role model for success in social media, and on Facebook in particular. Accounting firms, right? Dentists, doctors. It doesn't matter how maybe kind of boring the business might seem, or whatever. But there are examples in every kind of industry of businesses that are doing well on social media and on Facebook. So as a dentist, let me just give you a handful of suggestions just right off the top of my head here. You could run contests where somebody could win a new beautiful smile. Maybe you do cosmetic dentistry. You could run contests in your community where one winner will win a new smile, right? Which is something that a lot, it's probably expensive enough that a lot of people can't afford and would love to have their smile fixed. That could be something that, you could really, really make visible in a community and generate a lot of goodwill. And you could drive people to your Facebook page to participate in that. Now, that doesn't mean that you should use just Facebook, right? You can also use direct mail, you can use press releases, things like that to get the word out about that contest. But by using Facebook to actually run that contest on, you can create a lot of viral activity and get the word out much easier and more cheaply than you can via other marketing methods. So that's one thing that I would consider. Another thing I would consider is doing videos of your happy patients. Have them do a testimonial video and post that up online on your Facebook page, and then do some of those sponsored story and other forms of advertisements to get those videos out into your community, right? Of people saying good things about your dental practice. Let's see here. Let's see if I can come up with another one real quick here. So the other thing is just plain and simple advertising, right? I mean, advertising on Facebook is incredibly targeted, easy, and really effective, really cost effective as well. So, people are often looking for a new dentist. So if you're running ads on Facebook, there's a real good chance that you're going to pick up new patients that way. So I really highly encourage every business to, one, go out there and look for a role model. Look for other people in your industry that are doing well, and look for other people in other industries that are doing well, where you might be able to borrow some of their ideas. And then just spend some time being creative and thinking through, hey, how can we leverage this vehicle? Because it really is amazingly powerful for any industry out there. Okay, these are all great questions, and I've got a number more, but I see that we are coming up right here on the hour, and I want to be respectful of your time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to respond to the rest of these questions individually, like I said, in the next 24 to 48 hours. And again, I just want to encourage you, if any of these topics are something that you'd like to explore more and think about some opportunities to improve the way that you are building relationships and increasing the revenue of your current customer base and your current clients, we love to help you. That's what we do. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for tuning in and paying attention during this presentation. And please do get in touch if we can help you. Take care.